In the last session, we have seen about the rotor protection of the alternators. So, in today's session, we will be seeing about the bus zone protection. So, we all know that bus bar is an important component of the power system and it needs immediate attention by the power system engineer because it can lead to the disruption of the power supply to the consumers. So, this bus bar, it forms an important framework or a network between the incoming and the outgoing lines, since it is acting as a base between the generating stations and the feeders. So, different types of protection which is going to be incorporated for this bus bar we will see in today's session. So, as such the bus bar, it needs effective protection or quick attention should be provided to it so as to isolate the problem. So, whenever a power system problem occurs, here whenever I am going to say it as a bus bar, it is not that I am going to isolate only the bus bar, but also the associated components with it, the circuit breakers, the isolators. So, whenever a fault is going to occur, so that particular section will get isolated, right? Now, we will move on to the different protection which is employed for your bus bar, that is namely your differential current protection, your high impedance or your biased differential scheme, and the frame leakage protection. You have three types. So, in this session we will be learning about the differential current protection. So, the differential current protection, generally you know the principle, that is the current entering and the leaving by the CTs, that is the current which is measured from the CTs secondaries are compared. Under normal condition, the current entering and leaving the session are going to be the same, so the relay will not operate. Okay, but that is a general protection what we have seen in your differential protection of the relays. Okay, now here whenever we are going to consider the bus bar, on one side you are going to have the generating stations, on the other side you are going to have the feeders. It is not necessary that the number of the generators and the feeders are going to be the same. So, here in this case, if you are going to consider as per your Kirchhoff's law, the algebraic sum of the currents which is entering and leaving the bus bar section should be 0. Okay, so whenever the current leaving and entering the section is 0, then under normal condition the relay will not operate. Suppose if at all a fault occurs anywhere, in that the current which is entering and leaving the bus bar will not be 0. So, whenever the current is faulted, whenever you are going to have a faulted current, the current will magnitude will not be 0. So, the relay will operate. So, this is the principle of your bus bar protection. Now, we will go on to know how to draw the circuitry and then we will analyze the remaining concept. So, you just draw the bus bar. On one side you are going to have the generating station, on the other side you are going to have the feeder. So, through your circuit breaker draw the feeders and the generators. Once this is drawn with, other things are simple. So, as I told you, number of generators need not be equal to the number of the feeders. So, how many feeders are there as per the required application? So, you just draw the feeders and at every end of your feeder and the generator, you just draw the CTs. And of course, the CTs, they have to be connected to the operating coil of the relay. Okay. So, just the differential scheme we have seen in this part whenever I am drawing it in the in case of your portrait form, that's all. Okay. Now, here if you are going to see, the main drawback in your differential protection is that here if you are going to see, it is going to mal operate in case of the external fault. What do you mean by external fault? So, which is going to, if I am going to give, this is a part of the section that is going to get protected. That means if a protection is going to act on, then the fault is going to be within the protective zone, then it is an internal fault. If it is going to be outside the zone, protective zone, it is your external fault. So, in case of the external fault, what happens? Suppose if a feeder is getting faulted, okay, when a feeder outside the in the neighboring section, if it is going to get faulted, in that case the CTs which are nearing to might get saturated. If the CTs get saturated, what will happen? The output value will get reduced, the output magnitude will get reduced. In that case, what happens? You will have a differential current that is flowing through even there is no internal fault also. Okay, this is undesirable because due to the external fault, because of that the CT is getting saturated. Because of the saturation of the CT, when the output voltage gets reduced, unwantedly this relay will detect it as a fault and a differential current will flow through. So this concept should be avoided, for which we are going to go in for the next scheme, which is called as a high impedance or a biased differential scheme. So in this biased differential scheme, in the general protection for the relay itself, we have seen you are going to take the percentage amount of the current also, so that the relay does not operate for your external faults. So thank you. In the next session, we will be seeing about the high impedance or the biased differential scheme. Thank you.